Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Helen Liao. It's good to have you with us. Coming up in this week's program, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hong Kong are holding a ceremony to deliver their blessings to the victims of the recent ferry collision. In Taiwan, we meet an Indonesian recycling volunteer, Anna Lee, who always brings laughter to the Xingdian recycling station. And students in the Penang Tzu Chi daycare in Malaysia are putting on a stage play to pass on humanistic values to younger students. We start today's show in Asia. For the past week, a series of ferry accidents have occurred in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Hong Kong that resulted in death of many people. In Hong Kong, the ferry collision in Lammat Island on October 1st killed 38 people. And to deliver their blessings to the deceased, Tzu Chi volunteers held a ceremony to chant the Lotus Sutra and encourage the participants to embrace a day of vegetarianism.
Starting from October 4th, flags on government buildings, landmarks, and skyscrapers were lowered at half-mast to mourn the victims of the recent ferry accident. Meanwhile, over 80 volunteers chanted the Lotus Sutra at the Hong Kong Tzu Chi chapter and promoted a day of vegetarianism to return the blessings to the victims.
We chanted the sutra sincerely to bless the victims and so the spirits of the deceased can attain peace, and those living can find closure.
To mourn the deceased, at noon of October 4th, ferries in the harbour blew their horns to show condolences, while Hong Kong Chief Executive Liang Zhenying led senior officials outside government offices in observing 3 minutes of silence. Ringing the bell of mourning, Tzu Chi volunteers at the Jinshi Hall, liaison offices, and recycling stations also joined the public mourning.
We must cherish the time we spend with family and friends. Everything happens and we must be grateful.
Life is impermanent. We must seize the moment and do what we want and do something meaningful.
On the day of mourning, Hong Kong residents show their great love for the victims and their families.
In Zimbabwe, attending class is something children look forward to. However, for some, it's difficult, not because tuition fees are expensive, but that many schools don't have sufficient classroom for their students. Tzu Chi volunteers step in to help at one local elementary school, where they built 7 prefabricated classrooms and also donated rice so students could enjoy a hot lunch.
4-5. Number 2.
Inside the prefabricated classrooms here at Harare in Zimbabwe, the children sit on the floor, concentrating as they listen to the lesson of the day. This is the first day of class since Tzu Chi finished building the classrooms.
I think they couldn't believe that Tzu Chi could help them build a classroom. They were all looking forward to it, but also were afraid it was just a dream.
Before the volunteers arrived at Rungu Elementary School, students attended class outdoors, and the blackboard was a temporary slab. Gusts of wind would kick up dust, making it hard for students to see.
Whenever I wanted to write something, you can see there's no place where the blackboard can stand. So I used to write it. Then a boy that I chose to be board master would take it, then we'll put it over there so that everybody will see. It was hard, and that boy was so strong because every time I want to write, you climb, you take it down, I write it, I rub it, you send it back.
At the end of July, Tzu Chi volunteers started the painstaking task of constructing 7 prefabricated classrooms. The students now finally have a safe environment to learn in, vastly improving their chances to learn. Tzu Chi volunteers later donated 1,440 kilograms of rice for the students as lunchtime meals, while parents take turn volunteering at the school to cook the rice for the children to eat.
For these children, lunch is a very important meal, as many don't eat breakfast before coming to school. They eat all they can at lunch because many don't have anything to eat at dinner, so lunchtime meals at school are their only meal of the day.
Eating what could be their only meal of the day, the students are extremely appreciative of all the love from Master Zhen Yan and Tzu Chi volunteers, and they sing a song to say thanks.
Master Zhen Yan, what a wonder you are brighter than the morning star. You are lovely, much lovely, than the lily that grows by the wayside. You are precious, much precious to us.
Under the bright sky, these white prefabricated classrooms outshine the sunlight. This isn't just an area that Tzu Chi has shown support, but an arena where children's dream can shine.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi Care recipient Grandma Ayu made her living by sorting recyclables. However, as she is getting older, she can no longer keep her living environment clean. After a few regular visits from Tzu Chi volunteer, she finally agreed to let volunteers help her clean up.
This is Grandma Ayu's house, which is full of the recyclables she collects every day, as well as moldy food and dirty laundry. As Grandma Ayu is more than 80 years old, her chronic physical pain makes her unable to clean up, but she is still unwilling to let others help.
She refuses to let us help her clean up, so we try to convince her to let us sell these recyclables and we will bring back the money to her.
We told the bar leader our plan and he said he will cover the expenses. So today he gave her 1,000 NT dollars.
Every month, Tzu Chi volunteers visited Grandma Ayu and understand her feelings about the recyclables. Therefore, volunteers will ask her before processing any item.
Let us fold the clothes for you and you can sit over here.
Now she trusts us and feels comfortable when watching us help her process these recyclables.
It is a great task to clean out all the stuff. Over 30 volunteers clean out over 20 bags of garbage.
We're professional in cleaning up, no problem.
The volunteers also help wash the water tower and paint the walls in a professional manner.
We do our best as what Master Zhen Yan will do.
After the volunteers' cleaning, the house has a bright new look. The bed is clean and organized, and the foul odors have also disappeared. Grandma also welcomes the volunteers to come back regularly.
Thank you, Tzu Chi.
Zhang Atang, a recycling volunteer from Taoyuan, retired from the post office in 2004. One day after seeing Tzu Chi volunteers practicing recycling, he decided to join in. Since then, he has been a devoted recycling volunteer.
Afraid that his phone will ring non-stop, volunteer Zhang Atang leaves home early to pick up recyclables. Moving heavy objects on and off the van is no easy task.
We should choose to do the tasks less favored. The easier tasks can be done by others.
Willing to undertake anything, there is only one thing Zhang Atang is not able to do.
He does not know how to drive, so we are responsible for driving the vehicle, and he will be responsible responsible for the overall coordination at the recycling station.
As a coordinator for all the operations, Zhang A-tang has a weekly and daily itinerary planned out for all the collection points.
He even makes notes on where we will go today. Every stop is scheduled in order.
I draw up an itinerary every week. This one is for this week.
The 3 extra days of work are because Zhang A-tang does not want to neglect any stop, so he often does 2 days' worth of work in one day.
He works very hard and quickly brings the recyclables back for us to sort. He arrives very early. Brother Zhang, you are number 1.
In Taiwan, 23-year-old Anna Lee is a caregiver from Indonesia. As her employer is a Tzu Chi care recipient, she has been accompanying her to practice recycling as rehabilitation at a nearby recycling station. Recently, with her 2-year work permit coming to an end, the volunteers held a farewell party for Anna. Walking from an employer's house to the Xingdian recycling station takes about 2 hours. However, Anna Lee always visits the station with her employer to undertake rehabilitation and practice recycling. With Anna Lee at the recycling station, there's always laughter.
She will carry the baby in the front and wear an apron.
Anna Lee comes from Java, Indonesia, and came to Taiwan to make a living to support her family. Since her employer is a Tzu Chi care recipient, she also got the chance to visit a recycling station and found much warmth there.
The recycling volunteers love her because she's a very sweet girl. No matter what kind of task, when you give it to her, she's always willing to do it.
At the recycling station, everyone treats Anna like their own granddaughter. Knowing that Anna's 2-year work permit is coming to an end, the senior volunteers are very sad. The day before Anna is leaving the country, the volunteers hold a farewell party at the recycling station.
Aunt, I am going home.
Anna bursts into tears when saying her goodbyes. Everyone gives Anna a hug and wishes her the best.
Thank you for everything. I will miss you.
This group of volunteers will always be Anna's family in Taiwan.
I will be back.
As the Jingsi Hall in Indonesia will officially open tomorrow, October 7th, volunteers have been busy preparing for the big day. On the day of the opening ceremony, among other events, there will be a group of 20 drummers playing to welcome guests and participants. The drum team is being led by Li Qi-ying, who is a teacher at an international school and also a devoted Tzu Chi volunteer. During the Buddhist era, before the Buddha spoke, the beating of drums would notify the people of the upcoming talk. There is also another meaning to the drums.
The beating of drums has another meaning, which is to inspire others to be diligent and cultivate goodness.
For the past month, Li Qi-ying has been working with 20 drummers. Among the drummers are teachers, Tzu Chings, and even the vice principal of the Tzu Chi school in Indonesia, who is a Muslim.
In Islam, we will also beat the drum before praying, so that we know it is time to pray. On the day of the opening ceremony for the Jin Si Ho, we will also be beating the drums. It is very similar to Islam.
Budaya antara Muslim dengan yang ada di Tzu Chi.
Li Qi-ying immigrated to Indonesia 27 years ago and has been a devoted Tzu Chi volunteer for 18 years. With the opening of the Jin Si Ho in Indonesia on October 7th, the beating of the drum will guide everyone as they purify their spirits and walk the Bodhisattva path. In the United States, 2 college students followed Tzu Chi volunteers regularly to visit the St. Thomas nursing home in Northern California. Over the past 6 months, their singing and guitar performances have brought joy to the seniors. As well as the seniors have passed away one after another, these 2 students have experienced the impermanence of life.
In Northern California, these 2 college students regularly perform at the St. Thomas nursing home. They hope to bring joy to the seniors. This senior beat time to the music. However, upon hearing an old Chinese song, she can't help but shed tears.
This is a profound experience. Although we have known them for only half a year, we have formed a close connection.
Over the past half a year, the 2 students have visited the nursing home every week. Sometimes they found some of the seniors had passed away, which was an emotional time for them.
As those who once listened to us singing were gone, it always makes me sad when I think about the impermanence of life.
The experience of impermanence of life leaves a deep mark on the 2 students and drives them to continue to make their contributions.
Students at the Penang Tzu Chi Daycare perform a Jin Si aphorism-inspired drama to emphasize the importance of humanitarian spirit. Through the performance, the students had an opportunity to put the humanistic ideals into practice.
Xu Weili, a student, stands in the corner, his face betraying his anxiety.
I am a little afraid because there are a lot of people watching me. My voice is too small through the microphone. I may make some mistakes. Today we are presenting the Jin Si aphorism play, and the story is about a good-for-nothing mouse.
Xu Weili is the narrator of the play.
Every time it is the teachers telling them stories, and this time we want them to perform the Jin Si story themselves so that they can learn the moral of it.
Through the performance of the Jin Si drama, students can feel the deeper meaning behind the aphorism.
I feel Weili is less tolerant of others. He is prone to get upset at some trivial things. He is also absent-minded. But in this performance, he was assigned an important task, and he was very excited. He even asked me to teach him and reviewed the story again and again because he wanted to do well.
We must concentrate and have the right mind so that we can easily succeed.
The teaching of Jin's aphorism at Tzu Chi's daycare schools helps students move closer towards a path of kindness.
At Taipei's Tzu Chi Guandu grounds, where parents and child classes are celebrating their 10th year, this year the Water Repentance Sutra will be included into the curriculum. As for the Tzu Shao class in Zhonghe and Yonghe, a seminar was held to help new students learn more about the course.
On the first day of the Shuanghe Chishao class, students show a lot of energy. These are junior and senior high school students who are ready to learn the Tzu Chi ideals of cherishing their blessings and being active in the community.
Unlike other volunteer groups, Tzu Chi will learn of the humanistic spirit that Master Zhenyan emphasizes. We ask students to learn in the midst of doing and awaken to the truth while learning. The Master hopes every child can bring an influence of kindness back to their family.
Liu Dajun is a senior Chishao who was forced by his father to attend the class last year. On the first day of the pre-sessional seminar, he shares his experience with the others.
A year ago, I was sitting down there like you are, watching senior Chishao perform sign language, put on plays, and share their experiences with us. I was forced by my dad to attend the class. However, a few classes later, I found I don't hate it as much as I used to.
Tzu Chi's humanistic education helps students learn the importance of service and great love as upheld by Tzu Chi.
Children are mostly spoiled, especially in this low birth rate generation. We expect this parent-child class can help educate their parents and their children in the right way.
In the 10th year of parent-child class at the Tzu Chi Guandu grounds, this year the Water Repentance Sutra is going to be introduced to encourage parents and students to reflect on themselves.
We want to use the Water Repentance Sutra to help our students realize the necessity of changing our bad habits and return our heart to its purest state.
Here, students are learning that Chishao class and the parent-child class will bring them a fruitful harvest over the year.
Continuing the festive mood of the recent past Mid-Autumn Festival, Tzu Chi volunteers in Bangkok, Thailand made mooncakes to raise funds for the construction of their Jingsi Hall. Among those making the cakes were students, housewives, and seniors.
This is not a pastry factory, but the Tzu Chi Thailand chapter, where volunteers are making mooncakes to raise construction funds for their new Jingsi Hall. Everyone shares in the workload. Some are responsible for encrusting, and others responsible for packaging.
Buying the gift boxes was a small thing, but the money raised can be used for greater things. That is the most important.
Like a factory's production line, the volunteers break down the process of making the mooncakes. When ordering ingredients, they already experienced some challenges.
From the ordering of the ingredients, who to order from, how to order, how much to order, our teams spent some time finding out this information.
Even housewives were invited by volunteers to give what they can.
I felt very free and calm. Whether it was the measuring of the ingredients or the encrusting, unconsciously I let go of my worries.
It was the first time making mooncakes for many, but they found that the main key to success was none other than mindfulness. Working together, volunteers also remembered to clean up the chapter house after their work was done.
We go back to Malaysia at the end of the show, where students at the Bayang Lepas Tzu Chi Kindergarten are holding a tea gathering. That's all the time we have for. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.